Hello, everybody. I'm Nick Wertzberger, and I'm going to give a talk about this fantasy gaming console called the PICO-8. I don't know how many of you extra hands who's here has tried programming a video game. All right, who's tried Unity? Okay, a couple. Okay, if you have the experience I have with a lot of these tools that are used by professionals, it's that they're good. They're excellent tools, but there's a lot of overhead that's going to go into developing that game. There's resource bundles. There's very complicated frameworks for that. The PICO-8 is not that at all. The goal of the PICO-8 is to make programming the game fun. The person who wrote it designed it for that purpose. So let's get a little talk about that and about the game console. And of course, there will be a lot of demos at the end. I decided to give this talk around 8:50 this morning. So there'll be plenty of demos. But here's a very light history of the PICO-8. It was made in 2015 by someone who goes by the name of Zep. This is their little logo on the message board that they're on. I also want to bring up that Celeste, which I think is a popular indie game. It was originally made during a game jam for the PICO-8. So the idea here is that you can move fast, come up with your idea, play with it in a very constrained setting, and then you'll usually stop there. We're just having fun, right? But if something is good, you can build it out from there. Lots of fun has happened between then and now. And of course, an important part of the PICO-8 history is that I got it in 2021. And then from then to now has been a lot of fun as well. And I'll show off some of the things that I've done with it. A lot of incomplete things. But here's some goals of the PICO-8 system. The API is focused on fun for programming. When Zep made it, he was trying to make it as like a programmer video game in a sense. Some things that really stand out for here, Zep considers sorting to be fun. So there is no sort function on there. You have to write your own sort function because he thinks you should have to do that because that's fun programming. He's not going to take that away from you. So, also, constraints encourage creativity. So by locking you in to a very, very constrained system, you're forced to just go work on the part that was going to make it fun in the first place. You're not going to be spending all of your time making art. You're not going to be building a very complicated, you'll build a somewhat complicated engine if you want to, if that's where you want to spend your time. But these other systems that come into play with bigger games, you're not going to be doing those things. You're just going to be focused on the piece that you're interested in. Let's talk about some of these constraints, by the way. The screen size is 128 by 128 pixels. For reference, the Nintendo Famicom system was bigger. There was more for Nintendo. So this is smaller than a Nintendo from a screen resolution standpoint. The colors, there's 16. There's two palettes of 16 colors, and you can switch between these two 16 color palettes in your code. When you're making sound, there's 8 different types of sound, different wave shapes, and you can put 4 of them together inside of some sort of musical thing. So that's also just another constraint to the system. It does support multiple controllers from like a 6-button controller standpoint. The up, down, left, right. I think the XO in here. And then this is kind of one of the cute things about a PICO-8, and that maybe is the reason why I jumped into it. So the games, they have to fit inside of a 32 kilobyte total size. That's including white space. It's stored as a PNG. So this image is the game. So I thought that was a pretty neat little touch, trying to get that cartridge feel to the system. It's really trying to be those 80s style games. And then the programming language for it is Lua, which is pretty fun. And I know everyone, one index lists. Okay, fair enough. But underneath the covers, it is a table. Everything's a table, so, it's really such a thing as a list in it anyways. I don't know. Let's go on. This screen is the API. This is what you have. You just get this cheat sheet. That's everything. You want to go do something involving like drawing. There's a few functions that you can go play with. But overall, it's very simplified. And with that, I'm going to start doing a little demo to kind of show off What's here? My plan here is to start from nothing and then just kind of play with it. We're going to have a circle bouncing on the screen. But I already made this as well because I'm sure I'm going to off by one or go in bad if statements. I just want to give a feel for it. Is that where you guys want to go with this, by the way?
It's a standard cooking show, right?
Standard.
You got one in the oven.
Got one in the oven. Okay. So let's go have an attempt at that and see how that goes. All right. So the first thing I want to do. Let's see where we are. Okay. Restart, I think. No, let me shut down. My bad. Let me go start one up. There are unsaved changes. Oh God. What do I do? Hey, we're not going to continue with the shutdown. Okay, so let's just go ahead and let's see our final product here, and then I'm going to save it if it's working. So that'll be great. Okay. So where I'd like to go with this is a little ball bouncing around. You can also change the velocity of with your controller. Okay, cool. Well, it does look like it works, so I'm going to hit save. And then we'll shut down and try it again. All right. So it really tries to recreate this fantasy gaming right from the beginning by having that fun little sound that pops up. It is a fully integrated environment, although if you're like me, remember you're coding for fun. So you may have more fun over in VS Code, just so you know. That's very possible. But it does provide that whole integrated fantasy experience starting right away. I'm already in code right here. So let's just go ahead and draw a circle right here. 10, 10 with a radius of 5 or something. Okay, and then we can just hit run. And right away, there's now a circle up here. That's pretty cool. That's not exactly what we're going for though, right? So maybe we want to clear a screen. Well, we're going to have a silly command. I'm sure you all have seen it before. CLS. Now we're going to run. We're going to draw a circle. Oh, then we're back up here. Well, I kind of want it to be running like a loop, right? So to do that, there's 3 functions that you start off with. This one's going to be easily inside of the draw. Oh, yeah, that's going to come up. Draw inside the draw function. And I'm not a heathen, so. Okay. And now we're going to run, and at least it's running now the whole time. We have to quit out of it, and we're looping. The draw function is going to run on before every screen here, but it's not running at a consistent number of frames per second. To get your consistent updates, there is another function called update. So we'll go ahead and grab that one too. And obviously, we're going to need some sort of way to make the circle move, because what will be the point of it? And plus, we know where we're going with this, because I can't get away, because I got scared. Okay, we'll put x at 5, though. X equals 5, y equals 5, too. Why not? I just want you guys to look at the joy here. We're just doing something simple and straightforward. We're not pulling in an enormous framework that's going to take us the next 3 days to have any understanding of. We're drawing circles on a screen. It's like getting a deck of, I was going to say a deck of crayons, so that's not the word I'm looking for. A box of crayons and drawing a picture. Especially if you've been coding for a long time and you've been maybe a little jaded by the world. Okay, let's do x equals x plus 1, and I don't know. We'll make y do something too. Y equals y plus 1. Why not? And we can go right. And now I've got a ball, which of course is going to say goodbye. Very neat, very neat, very neat. So now, of course, we might want to play around and do some movements and stuff. I think I could do like the if greater than and the VX stuff, which I'll show that in a minute. But I kind of want to go immediately into keyboard key interactions. I think that'd be more interesting. So you may notice everything's all caps, right? A little disheartening. But what's actually going to happen is that if you hold the shift key, you're going to start getting these other weird symbols that are real symbols that you can go use. So let's say that we want to go make the y direction go up instead or something. So I'm just going to say if sorry. I need to make actually call the button function. If we're going to get the up arrow, then we're going to go do something. Y equals. I'm going to cheat. This is some shit code. So obviously we have a +1 here, and so I got a -2 if I'm going to go grab it like this, right? Okay. Cool. Run, boom. Now we're in control. Amazing, amazing. I know. I prefer having sounds though. We need some sounds. So we want sounds on like the button hit or something. Seems reasonable, right? It is a fully integrated environment. I want to bring that up because I think that's important to that programming experience, that gaming feel to it. So we can go draw sprites. We can go create maps. We can go create sounds. And what sound would be better than, let's just say, maybe, there we go. Maybe this sound. What does that sound like? It's pretty good, right? I don't know. We'll go with that one. Okay, that's going to be saved in a specific spot. It's in spot 0. It's in spot 0. So now I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to be like, yo, every time I hit that up arrow, we're going to let this happen. I know what's going to happen. It's going to make that sound effects, but obviously, if I'm holding the button, it's going to make the sound effects, so that'll be it. So we're running here. So, as you can see, we've got some sounds going on. You know what? Circles are kind of boring, though. We need something, right? What do you want to draw? So, throw something out here. By the way, I'm not an artist, which is also a big plus of this system. Because it's so constrained, it'll look okay. Draw an object, preferably an easy one.
Try to make Mario.
Mario!
I was gonna go alien from space maybe, or go for like a galaxy.
Okay, we'll do some sort of alien. Yeah, sure. An alien Mario, if you will. Okay, so we'll go over down here to the simple editor we've got. There we go. Yeah. It's gonna have some eyes here. Why not? I probably need some. I don't like that actually.
What is it?
Sure, something like that. And then I don't know. It's wearing like a purple suit, right? Like so. Oh, that's bad.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. Rock and roll. Here's our alien. This is going to be in spot. Well, it's spot 1. I don't know where it's at for. Is it say one? Oh, it does. Right. 001. So spot 1 is where we want this. Okay. So let's go over and be like, yo, circles were cool. But you know what's cooler is sprites. So we'll go sprite here. Sprite is in spot 1. Oh, damn, that was clear screen. Clear screen. I don't like circles. I like sprites. Sprites. That was in spot 1. The first spot is that. Once again, the little cheat sheet's pretty great. Alright, so there we go. We got our draw function. We're doing some sprite stuff. We got some updates. Rock and roll. He's running. And he's gone. Okay. I feel like I've gotten the point across about how fast you can go have something up and running. And I want to give I want to give a personal story of an app I made with my daughter when she was like 5. Very straightforward, and it was a really great chance to I guess show my daughter that you can make games, and also for me myself, because up until this thing I was not successfully making games. So we called it Fight Ghost because she's 5, and that was the game she came up with. All right, we're gonna go zoom up. All the art was done by a 5-year-old. And of course they gotta move. Like if you notice, yeah. The other thing is like we were dealing with small children and stuff. It can be really overwhelming if you've got like a full palette with like 512 by 512, something enormous. Honestly, as an adult, it's too much for me. I'm not that good. I didn't hone that skill yet in my life. And so having these smaller things where you have to do a little bit more imagination allows me to move a lot faster. So here in this world, we'll go, and that's it. That's the whole game. 3 hearts up there. It's pretty great. But what's really cool is that any game you load is going to have. Well, I guess I'll just stay on. My bad.
What
was that?
What does the cartridge look like for this?
Oh man, I did not make it, so I'm not going to. Well, I can try. Hold on. Save.
I said they were all
You can save them as a like one card can control like the capture. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. Sorry. Okay, cool. But yeah, you can share them as a PNG file. Usually they're ending up in these PA formats, which are not a PNG file. But if you have like a website, you just want to share your little card, like your PNG out there as your card, which of course is pretty fun. Another really great thing. So on this code here, I don't know. The entirety of that game fits in. How do I say it? Oh yeah, by the way, you get really used to having your constraint right bar. Yeah, you Java programmers, I'm looking at you. Stops at like 40, by the way, if you want to look right. It's stopping at 40, the whole thing fits in like, 212 lines of code. So, once again, you get to have that fun. What's up?
When you were in the PICO editor, it's all caps. Is it actually just writing word? Does caps not exist in that editor? What's going on?
Okay, so lowercase is caps. If it does load caps things, it's like a smaller caps. Everything is caps. What's up?
So what do those icons, like the button up and stuff, what do those look like in VS Code?
That's a great question. I think when I'm writing in VS Code, I never actually use the icons. But when I'm writing in the other one, I do use the icons. So I believe it's just it's an emoji. Oh, it is an emoji up arrow, emoji down arrow, emoji. All of it. It's pretty
just got enhanced aliases if you want to just type it out.
Yeah, so like it'll be like number 1, number 2. It's all in the cheat sheet. So,
is this like an open source software?
This is not okay. So the PICO-8 is not an open source piece of software. It is a $15 thing to buy. There is an open source thing out there called the PIC-80. I have found more fun with the PICO-8 personally. The TIC-80 also has slightly wider constraints. I think it's closer to like a regular Nintendo, like those constraints. But yeah, so if you want to go open source the TIC-80, the community for this has been really great. And one of the really powerful things, one of the things I've really enjoyed about the PICO-8 is just actually playing the games that become available on this thing called Explore. Because of those constraints, people are focusing on the game, which I think is huge. It actually makes a lot of these really fun. I don't know if you guys have played like this. I guess I'll just open the one up. So this one is like you're dropping and as things merge, they get bigger and bigger, and you're trying to get as many balls down as you possibly can, which is a cool little concept. You'll see people riff on it out in the community. So there's another game that's the exact same thing that someone decided they wanted to use fruit for example. Oh, by the way, let's exit out here. Exit the sport. Escape again. If I hit escape again, all of their code is now available. So like I can go see the code that they wrote to go to it. And it's not just that. I got all the little sprites that they made, how they organized out the games. So you get that sharing back that I think kind of goes away sometimes in our community. Well, I think it's there in like JavaScript and some other places, but like you can go see how a game looks and how they made the music or whatever throughout all these different things. So I think that's all pretty cool. And I want to show one more, and then I'll call it. Yeah, I guess that works out actually. I didn't expect it to take a little time. One of the most original games I've ever seen on this platform is, and maybe it's not, is Harold's Bad Day. And I think Harold's Bad Day is a great example of a game that would never get made. So he's gonna run. It's a bad day, remember? He's dead. Damn.
That's actually it.
Hold on. We gotta reset. Don't fall. That's the lesson. You can't fall that far. You gotta fall in different ways. But it gets better. It gets better. I'll play for just a minute to hopefully show you how bad Harold today gets. Come up for your rats. It'll take a minute. We have to get through a few different scenes here. It's worth it. I don't think I'm oh God. Come on, Harold. There we go. Okay, here we go. Oh no, he's on fire. Damn. Okay, this is still not good now. Down here you see there's a life bar. At some point you start getting lives. I'm on fire. Oh shit. I'm dead. Okay. If you keep playing this game though, you get to the point where Harold starts reincarnating. And he has to use his own dead bodies to get through the life. What's up?
Have you seen have you seen anyone like put this on like RetroPie or anything like on a Raspberry Pi?
Yes, this absolutely plays on a Raspberry Pi. I also set up a RetroPie so I can play these games on a RetroPie to get that full experience. In my own personal life, I do just use the laptop and I plug in some controllers. We have like regular Nintendo controllers. And it's been super fun. I really feel like it's brought joy back in a lot of ways from programming because I think that some of the constraints we put on ourselves as programmers about like, let's not repeat ourselves, let's make sure we're using these libraries. Oh shit, well now I'm just integrating libraries over and over again. The libraries are just integrating and integrating and integrating and I'm like reading shitty docs and I am then having to go through the code anyways to make them play together. And instead of all that, it's like, you know what, let's just have a cheat sheet. Let's go write our own sort functions. And let's go make some fun little games for our partner. So there you go, that's what I got. Any other questions? I guess we got 5 minutes.
So one of the most successful and probably one of the best indie games of the last decade started as a PICO-8 game, which is Celeste.
Celeste, that's right.
Published on the Switch, on Steam, on Xbox, PlayStation, everywhere. Huge game. 24-hour game dev.
Yep, it was on the Game Jam. It was a 4-day Game Jam that Celeste got written in for the PICO-8, like the same year it came out. It's pretty wild. The other thing is, I feel like if you're making a game, if you can't make it fun in a constrained format, it's probably not going to be fun in a full-fledged format. And so you can move fast, get that fun little thing there, and once you know it's good, then you can go invest the time in Unity and stuff, and you're not going to be full of that dread that, like, I'm making garbage. Because you made it and you know it's fun. So I think that's also pretty awesome.
So in order to share games or whatnot, you share the PNG?
You can share the PNG, yes. That is the fun way to share the games. Oh, see, on the, over here, oh yeah, they can also play on the web. They play on, all the different things and also, like I said, the Raspberry Pi. So, it's pretty fun. And then you can upload all your games to Explore and they become available. Which really, my daughter's really excited about that and then wants to put it up. But I think it's really important when you're looking. For me, it's a way to connect with my kids. Yeah. Keeping it small is very important, even in this format.
Yo.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Awesome.